Okay, in this webcast we're going to look at the interactions between different variables. So I'm starting from the distribution page for these four words, fucks, fucking and fucked. And in case you haven't done it, we'll just do a quick recap of some simple distributions. There's not taking account of interactions. So just if we just look at age, distribution according to age, we notice a rough pattern going younger speakers use these words a lot more than older speakers. Obviously it's not exactly a clean pattern, but this is a rough pattern, and especially older speakers use it a lot less. So that's the way age is distributed. We look at sex, we can expect, and actually this is what happens, men use fuck and various forms of it a lot more than women. And finally, in terms of class, this actually is the clearest a very clear pattern, going from what we might term lower social classes, DE, to higher classes. So DE, the DE bracket, uses these words a lot more than C2, again, which is in turn much more than C1, and AB are on balance, the lowest users of fuck and its derivatives. Now, of course, these are just simple searches. These, as it says in the unit, these variables may interact in ways we can't predict. So let's just have a look at whether putting the two together will change the patterns. So first of all, we'll look at sex. We can compare them using the distribution tool. You'll notice there's two drop down boxes here. So we've got speaker sex, and we're going to compare it with social class. And what's interesting to note here is that there's no interaction, there appears to be very little interaction anyway, between the sex and the class. For both of them, the pattern remains the same as we found by using a simple distribution. This is not the same, however, when we look at the interaction between age and sex. But let's just compare these, and I'll talk you through it. So we find for the lower age groups that the pattern is as expected. So 0 to 14, men use it more than women. Same at 15 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44. At this stage, we notice a change in the overall pattern. Women start to use these words more than men. So there appears to be an interaction here between the sex of the user and their age group, which is not apparent if we look at each of these variables in isolation. So that in a way in itself is quite interesting. So what we could say is that the males are less affected by the age than women, the uses. And the final one we'll look at is the interaction between age and social class, because again this is quite interesting. So if we look at this, we'll notice that at different age groups the classes are distributed really quite differently from what we'd expect. So in the youngest age group, in fact, the DE don't use fuck, or none of the people in DE who are classed as DE used fuck at all, whereas C2 was relatively frequent. In this age group, 15 to 24, we get the expected distribution. In this, it's quite close. In this one, again, DE is right at the bottom, and age 45 to 59, it's more or less as expected. 60 plus we only get it appearing in older users. At this stage, you've probably noticed that in fact there's only one speaker in this group, so we can't really rely a lot on this. So one person's used fuck or something like that 7 times, whereas in some of the others we've got a few more hits to go on. But it's clear that there is some kind of interaction, or it would appear there's some kind of interaction between social class and age.